Morning, all. All right, so we got 8 games tonight, so not too bad for a Thursday night. Three of them starting at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. An hour later, we get the fourth game started. Two more start an hour later, and two more an hour after that. So it's nicely spread out if you want to follow everything. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals. For Florida, they won 5-2 on November the 15th. The third and final meeting between these teams will be on April the 8th, so right around the end of the season. For Florida, they're 27, 24, and 6. And their problem's been they take a step forward, they take a step back, a step forward, a step back. But they're close enough to the playoffs that they really, buckle down and get her done. 19 goals, 24 assists, 43 points for Sam Reinhart. I think he's been excellent for them after a slow start. Verhaeghe's been great throughout. 29 goals, 20 assists, 49 points. They are 2 points back of the team they're playing, Washington. So if they win in regulation, they're doing themselves a favor here. They're 2 points clear of Buffalo and Detroit. So this is a pretty tight race in the East. On the Washington side, they're 28, 22, and 6. Connor Sherry, 12 goals, 18 assists, 30 points. Very reliable player. And Johansson's been reliable for them as well. 13 goals, 15 assists, 28 points. Keep in mind that while Ovechkin's out, and we don't know when he's coming back, it's going to be guys like Sherry and Johansson that have to kind of play the hero here, right? They're 1 point back of Pittsburgh for that number one wildcard spot. They're the new number two wildcard. They're 1 point ahead of the Islanders and 2 points ahead of the team they're playing, Florida. So yeah, the races in the East are getting kind of tight now. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again March the 7th as well as April the 1st. For Montreal, they're 23, 27, and 4. They've been hot lately. I think Carolina probably stops them. Suzuki, 17 goals, 25 assists, 42 points. I think his production's been fine. Again, he's learning how to be a leader on a team that's got quite the history in Montreal. That's some pressure. Jonathan Drouin has been all around the net. Can't buy a goal. 31 games, 17 assists. So lots of assists, no goals for him yet. I'm hoping that goal comes soon. They're 12 points behind the Washington Capitals for the playoffs. They're 14 points clear of Columbus for the worst points total in the East. So right in the middle there, although Columbus is the only team in the East they're ahead of. On the Carolina side, they're 35, 10, and 8. Jordan Staal has been excellent. 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points. Do not tell you how important he is to them. Stefan Nason's been scoring at a pretty good pace lately as well. 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points for him. They're 3 points clear of New Jersey for first in the division. 6 points clear of the New York Rangers. It's not over in the Metro in terms of who's going to win that division, although Carolina's still in the driving seat. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Winnipeg Jets and the Columbus Blue Jackets. On December 2nd, Columbus went to Winnipeg and won that game by a score of 4-1. The Jets will be looking for a measure of revenge. They're 34, 19, and 1 overall. Blake Wheeler, 15 goals, 26 assists, 41 points. I think he's done a pretty good job this year. And when they're trying to name a captain, honestly, it's tough to go against Wheeler again at some point, right? Anyways, that aside, Morrissey, 11 goals, 45 assists, 56 points, has had quite the spotlight on him, and rightfully so this season. He's been excellent. They are 2 points back of Dallas, who are not playing tonight, so they can come out of tonight tied for first in the division. They're 6 points clear of Colorado, who look like they're getting it together. Then on the Columbus side, they're 16, 34, and 4 overall. Laine, 39 games, 14 goals, 18 assists, 32 points. You've always got to watch Laine against the Jets, because I get the feeling there's going to be a goal or two in there. Boone Jenner, 15 goals, 14 assists, 29 points for him. They are 26 points back of Washington for a playoff spot. So going out on a limb and saying Columbus, probably not making it this year. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific start between the Boston Bruins and the Nashville Predators. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Boston on March the 28th. Boston has been a little bit off lately, but again, that's to be expected. And if they get rolling again, maybe that game in Dallas is the start of that roll. They're 48 and 5 on the season. Coyle, 11 goals, 17 assists, 28 points. I think he's played quite well. McAvoy's been excellent in 40 games played, 4 goals, 29 assists, 33 points. They are 11 points clear of Toronto. They are 12 points clear of Tampa Bay. On the Nashville front, they're 25, 20, and 6. Roman Josi, 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points. Johansson, 11 goals, 15 assists, 26 points. Johansson, you never quite get the production out of him that you would hope or expect, but we'll see if that changes after the All-Star break here. They're 5 points back at Calgary. I saw an article saying, should Nashville sell? My answer is no, I think they're still in this. I think Nashville's close enough to a playoff spot, and the West doesn't look like a juggernaut by any stretch. Neither does the East, to be honest. I think if you're within 4 or 5 points of the playoffs, you kind of sort of got to go for it. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific start between the New Jersey Devils and the St. Louis Blues. On January 5th, St. Louis went into New Jersey and beat them 5-3. So for the Devils, they're 35-13-5. They're playing better now than they were on January 5th. Dougie Hamilton, 15 goals, 37 assists, 52 points. Remarkable season from Dougie Hamilton, arguably maybe the best of his career. Jesper Bratt, 21 goals, 32 assists, 53 points. It's not the points totals he was putting up at the start of the season, but still, point per game is pretty darn solid in the NHL. They're 3 points back at Carolina. They're 3 points clear of the New York Rangers. They got to watch the Rangers. The Rangers have won 5 in a row. St. Louis, 25-25-3 overall. Robert Thomas, 13 goals, 33 assists, 46 points. Has been quite good for them. Barbashev, his final game as a Blue may be coming soon, of course. 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points. I really like Barbashev. I hope that if they trade him, that they don't trade low, that they get a lot for him. Because I think Barbashev could be the kind of player, like, think along the lines of Brandon Hagel and what he's been able to do in Tampa. If Barbashev goes to a team where he can get more goals and points and those opportunities, he could have the kind of totals that Hagel's putting up in Tampa Bay. They're 8 points back at Calgary, those Blues. So, yeah, they're going to be selling at the deadline. That was clear with the Tarasenko deal. Anything else that happens from here. But, yeah, I mean, they're still at 500. They're still within 10 points of a playoff spot. I just don't think it's going to happen. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, the Detroit Red Wings, who were on a bit of a heater in against the Calgary Flames, who they defeated on February 9th by a score of 2-1. So for the Wings, they're 25-20-8 overall. Michael Rasmussen's been really solid for them lately. 9 goals, 18 assists, 27 points. And of course, Larkin's been their star player. 21 goals, 31 assists, 52 points altogether for Larkin. Showing how tight the race is in the East, they're 4 points back of Washington, 3 points back of the Islanders, 2 points back of Florida, and they're tied with Buffalo. So the problem they have is they have to pass so many teams. The good news is they have games in hand on almost every team they're playing, but you have to win the games in hand. On the Calgary side, they're 25-18-11 overall. Elias Lindholm, 15 goals, 33 assists, 48 points for him. And Noah Hannafin, 4 goals, 20 assists, 24 points. Hannafin's been excellent recently. They're tied with Minnesota, but they have one more regulation win than Minnesota, so currently they are the number 2 wild card. If regulation wins decide who does or doesn't make the playoffs, that would just be incredible. At any rate, we'll see how things go for Calgary tonight in this game against Detroit. They need to get some wins here. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Philadelphia and San Jose. So the Flyers versus their former coach, Dave Haxtell. Haxtell beat the Flyers on February 12th by a score of 4-3 in Philly. Philly's trying to return that favor. Flyers 22-23-10 overall. Konechny's been excellent. 24 goals, 25 assists, 49 points. Frost is more prominent than his totals would tell you, with just the 10 goals, 16 assists, 26 points. They're 8 points back of Washington. They're 4 points clear of the Montreal Canadiens. So Philadelphia, again, you've got a coach that wants to make sure you're playing games that matter in late February and early March. And that means this game tonight, there's probably going to be a lot of shot blocking, sticks and lanes, a lot of just really good defense from a Flyers team that if they could score goals, they'd be dangerous. On the Seattle side, they're 30-18-6 overall. Eberle maybe finally getting out of that goal-scoring drought he's been in. 11 goals, 29 assists, 40 points for him altogether. And Eeli Tolvanen has been great for them on that third line since they picked him up. 33 games he's played altogether. 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. And again, it's a situation where it feels like it's been perfect fit for Tolvanen in Seattle. It does not mean that if your team didn't pick him up on waivers, it would have worked that way there either. They're 1 point back of the LA Kings. They're tied with Edmonton, but they have the tiebreaker in Edmonton. So we'll see how this one goes tonight. Also at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the San Jose Sharks against the Vegas Golden Knights. I am a Sharks fan for tonight. They're 1 point back of the Vancouver Canucks, so a victory would put them ahead of Vancouver and help that tank a little bit more for Van. For the San Jose Sharks, they have actually split the season series with Vegas so far. Vegas wins the first meeting October 25th, 4-2. November 15th, San Jose wins 5-2. The fourth and final meeting will be March the 30th. San Jose 17-27-11. Timo Meier, of course, attracting a lot of attention, and rightfully so, with 31 goals, 21 assists, 52 points. He's a fantastic goal scorer whoever ends up getting him is getting a really good goal scorer. Bonino, 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points. Solid depth option. Maybe he goes at the deadline as well. There's 16 points back of Calgary for that final playoff spot. And as I said, they're 1 point behind Vancouver, also 1 point behind Arizona. So if you're a Coyotes fan and you're saying, hey, we want the best chance for the number 1 draft pick, you're a Sharks fan for tonight. On the Vegas front, they're 32-18-4. Riley Smith, 19 goals, 17 assists, 36 points. Stevenson, 12 goals, 35 assists, 47 points. Chandler Stevenson doesn't get all the attention that I think he should from the hockey world, but again, part of playing in Vegas, you have so many players that are playing relatively well and guys who score that maybe Stevenson flies under the radar. They are first in the division, but not by much. They're 1 point clear of LA. They're 2 points clear of both Seattle and Edmonton, so they need some more wins. Let me know your thoughts and your winners in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.